Yo, what's good, guys? Inswain with Inswain Audio. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and stick around because I drop videos just like this every single day. Audio, engineering, mixing, mastering, production, music industry in general, all that. You're not going to want to miss out. Anyways, today I'm going to be giving you a full breakdown, overview, and review, even showing you some examples here of the UAD 1176 limiter compressor, the classic plugin collection. I'm going to break it down so it's super easy to understand without having to read the manual. And we're also going to hear it on a couple different sources. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are in our session. I'll pull up the different plugins. There's 3 of them in total in the collection. We have the 1176 Revision A compressor. We have the 1176 AE compressor, and we have the 1176 LN Revision E compressor. They all look very similar, just different colors, and they have the same knobs and functions, and they all do the same thing for the most part. They just have a different tone, and they react to the sources differently. So how you dial them in will be the same, but they all sound pretty different, relatively speaking, considering they're all 1176s. The only main differences, which I will explain in more detail when we get there, is on the attack and the release. Those are the only main differences in how they function, but we'll get to there. Only need to look at one of these. We'll look at the bluey, what I call it, the blue stripe. We'll look at this for now, and then when we get to the attack and release, I'll show you the differences between the 3. All right, so starting on the left, we have our input gain. This is going to control the amount of signal that's going in. To the right is more, to the left is less. And it's important to note that in these UAD plugins, the more that you increase the input, regardless of everything else, the more distortion you're going to be getting, which could be desirable or not. It depends. That's up to you, but just know that increasing the input will add more distortion independent of everything else. Over here, of course, we have our output gain. This is post-processing. This is so that you can, when we're compressing, we're getting gain reduction. So we're losing some volume. If you want to gain stage or level match, then you can boost the level back out after the processing. So we come into the plugin, we do our gain reduction and coloration, etc., and then we can use the output gain to compensate for the volume that we lost. This headroom knob right here, as you can see, we have the screw with the line across, and there's also the little dot up there. Same with the mix one. The dot is where the knob is. So at 12 o'clock with the dot up at the top, this is the default setting. What we can do is as we turn it clockwise, we're decreasing our headroom, and as we turn it counterclockwise, we're increasing our headroom. This is going to change how much compression and distortion we're getting without having to touch the input and the output gain. And down here we have a mix knob. By default, it's going to be all the way towards the plus or clockwise. This is at 100%, and as you turn it to the left, counterclockwise, this is moving it towards 0% or, anything in between, 50%, etc. What this is a mix knob. At 100%, it's entirely the wet signal or the compressed signal. And as we turn it to the left, we're blending in more of the dry signal until we're completely counterclockwise, which is 0%, which means none of the compressed signal or the processing is on the signal. It's just the dry before signal. This is useful if you want to use it as sort of a parallel compressor without having to set up another send or whatever. Or you can leave it at 100% or anything in between if you want to do more traditional compression. All right, over here we have our attack and our release. They work just like any other attack and release, except for 2 little caveats. One, they're extremely fast, especially the attack. It ranges from 20 microseconds to 800 microseconds, not milliseconds, microseconds, both of which are extremely fast. So even on the slowest attack setting, it's still a really fast attack time. The other caveat, and the more important thing to know, is that counterintuitive to what you may think, the fastest attack and release are actually 7. So clockwise is the fastest, and counterclockwise is the slowest. So this would be the slowest attack and release. This would be the fastest attack and release. So the higher the number, the slower the attack/release is. The lower number, the slower the attack and release is. This is a little counterintuitive. On most compressors, these settings right here would be the fastest attack and release, but on the 1176s, it's inversed. As for the release time, the range of times for the release is from 50 milliseconds to 1100 milliseconds or 1.1 second. So on the fastest, we have a 50 millisecond release, and on the slowest, we have a 1.1 second release or 1100 milliseconds. Another interesting thing that a lot of people might not know is if you see this little slash right here above the release, this is indicating that there's a button here. If you click the release, you'll notice that the knob enlarges or pulls out, or you click it back in to push it in. What this does is when it is expanded or pulled out, it's engaging a sidechain filter. This only acts on the compressor's sidechain signal, and this is a fixed sidechain signal that you can adjust, that it's going to make it so that the compressor reacts a little bit less to the low frequencies to try to avoid pumping in the low frequencies or overcompression. And since it's a sidechain filter, this can be good on like bass tracks so that it doesn't compress them as much, but it doesn't actually remove it from the original audio signal, just from the sidechain filter. So then you can click it again to disengage it. So we're back to the default state. Now, like I said, there was a little bit of a difference between each compressor. So what I'll do is I'll pull them up now and I'll explain to you the differences between them. So here we have our 3 different compressors, the 3 different revisions. If you notice on the AE, underneath the attack, it says slow, whereas on the Rev A and the Rev E, underneath the attack, it says off. All 3 of these compressors have a special function that you can engage by turning the attack all the way to its counterclockwise position, and this is where they differ. So when you take the AE compressor and you click slow, you can engage the slow attack, which is 10 milliseconds, which is much slower than any other attack time you could get on this 1176. So it does have a special attack time. You can't reach it by turning clockwise. You actually have to click the word slow. If you might have guessed, on these 2, they have an off setting, which you can't get by turning clockwise. You have to click it. And what this does is it bypasses any of the compression that the compressor is doing. And you might be thinking, what is the point of that? Well, maybe you just want the tonality and the harmonics that the plugin is imparting on the signal without actually compressing it all. And that's what you can do with these 2 right here, the Rev A and the Rev E. If you click the off, it will bypass any compression and just leave the distortion and harmonics and tonality that the compressor imparts on the signal. So you can get the tone without the compression, which could actually really be a nice feature. It should also be noted that all 3 of these compressors have program dependent release times, meaning regardless of what you set the release to, yes, it's going to matter, but it's also going to be variable depending on the source that's coming in. It breaks it into 3 sections. There's a fast release time, the slow release time, and a transition time. All 3 of these will react differently, and they have different fast, slow, and transition release times that are happening under the hood that are program dependent that you don't have control over. So just kind of listen to them and get to know them and see which one you like more for different sources. Okay, back to just working with one compressor here. Over here, ratio is our ratio. We can choose between a 4:1 ratio, 8:1 ratio, 12:1 ratio, or 20:1 ratio. But also a nice feature that there is if you hold shift and click, you can engage 2 different of the ratio buttons, or even 3, or even 4 for an all buttons in mode, it's called. And there's a lot of combinations. You could do the middle 2, like 12 and 8. You could do 20 and 12. We can do 4 and 8 and 12. There's so many different ratio combinations that provide wildly different characteristics depending on the attack and release. There's so many different ways to experiment and try things. But if you want to keep it simple, just stick to a single different ratio, or maybe try the all buttons in mode for some crazy compression. And then over here is our meter. We can choose between gain reduction, which is going to show us how many decibels of gain reduction we're getting. We can choose off, which is going to disable the plugin. Or we can choose +4 and +8. What this is going to change our metering to show our output gain. When we're set to +4, that means that 0 is corresponding to +4 decibels of output gain, and then +8 means that the 0 on the meter is +8 decibels of output gain. So however you want to scale your metering, but these are just both output gains. This disables the plugin, and this shows our gain reduction. Me personally, I always use gain reduction for my compression metering. I think it's the most important. I want to know how much I'm compressing. I'm not too worried about the exact value of our output gain necessarily, so I would recommend to use this, but it's totally up to you. All right, now that we've explored everything that the plugin has to offer, let's listen to them on some different sources and compare them. We got vocals, drums, bass, and electric guitar. Perfect example here. I'm going to show you the song first without any processing or compressor so you can hear it, and then we'll start turning some knobs. All right, let's start with the vocals. We'll pull up the different versions. Let's start with the revision E, and I'll let you hear what it sounds like. let's try the next one. So that was the revision E. Let's try the AE.
Evil of nature, bless my world. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my world. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my world. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Dark.
All right, cool. And now let's move on to the Bluey or the revision A. Let's hear what this one sounds like. This one's my personal favorite.
Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can.
So you can tell they just squeeze the vocals, add a ton of character, level them right out, just really sound really good and do what you would want out of a compressor. This isn't very common, but let's try it on the drums. Let's give them a shot. We'll start with the revision E.
Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here.
Actually sounds really good. All right, let's move on. Let's try the AE.
Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature.
Once again, sounds really good. Has a different tone, but sounds good. Let's try the revision A, the Bluey.
Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can.
Actually, what I've been doing is I've been dialing the mix knob back because they're a little too fast and aggressive, so it's kind of working in parallel, blending in the original signal with the wet signal, and I'm really liking what it's doing. It's adding a lot of tightness to the drums that actually sounds really good, and these aren't typically used on drums, so there you have it. Let's try it on the bass guitar. Start with the revision E.
Evil of nature. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature, bless my.
All right, cool. Let's move on. We'll go to the AE.
Evil of nature, bless my man. Darkness, life here, taking what it can. Evil of nature,
I really like this blacky one here on the bass, but let's try the revision A.
Evil of nature, bless my prayer. Darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature, darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature.
That one's adding a ton of character to the bass, doesn't sound bad. All right, finally, we'll try on the electric guitars, starting with the revision E.
Evil of nature, bless my prayer. Darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature, bless my prayer. Darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature. Evil of nature, bless my prayer. Darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature, bless my prayer. Darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature, bless my prayer.
Yeah, that adds so much body and weight to it, and those are just chugging now. Awesome. All right, and finally, the revision A.
Evil of nature, bless my prayer. Darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature, bless my prayer. Darkness lies here, take it for the care. Evil of nature, bless my prayer.
That just makes them slamming, super aggressive. I really like it. I tried to do a little bit of different settings on all these. I wouldn't necessarily go with these. Just tried to show them off to you guys to let you hear what they sound like and what they're capable of. You can push them harder. You can use them more subtly, especially with that mix knob. So there it is, guys. These are amazing plugins. There's a full breakdown and review of the in-depths of the plugins, the differences between them, the hidden features that a lot of people don't know, and what they sound like on all different types of sources. So hopefully you can make an informed decision, or hopefully you'll learn something. Either way, guys, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I drop videos every day, and I got over 160 on my channel ready to go. Go check those out. Anyways, man, I'll see y'all tomorrow in Swain with Inswain Audio. Peace.